Hello, guten Tag, and welcome to the energy of Aries. The first house is open. My name is Ron from Terra of the Twin Sun. Terra of the Twin Sun is a functional division within the Order of the Twin Sun. I do welcome you to the channel. We'll go ahead and get started with a 9 card spread known as the Great Mirror. The Great Mirror is a tool devised in order to see the apparent karmas that may exist between you and a significant other. This significant other may be a person, place, or thing, animate or inanimate. Please take only what you will and note to use your discernment or at least some sort of intuitive knowledge that this reading is from the light to shine into darkness that which we seek. We'll go ahead and get started. I'm working with a deck that's 131 years old, known as the Alietta School deck by BP Grimaud, Paris, France, 1890. Thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate any sort of support for the channel, whether it comes in the form of donations or reading requests or likes if you like, or dislike. Even if you dislike, I do appreciate your honesty. Thank you. There's a mode of action here that requires a type of purgation. Someone is coming at you in terms of their energy, coming from a place of deep resourcefulness. They're using their communication or their mind in order to discern certain things about you. What they may come to find is that there is strength and power within you, as well the ability to evolve in a certain way when it comes to the triplicity of fire, moving from the first to the fifth house, also constituting the great pillars of the gateway, the master number 11. Okay. There also is something that you're holding back from them, which is the orchestration of certain things. Once again, they're coming at you, and you're at a place of strength and power. And this coming at you is more intellectualized in nature. It's about thought and the mind. And the mind is on some sort of quest that stems from, yes, resourcefulness. It stems from a place of deep commitment with society in general. Perhaps people are approaching you from places of society, and these people are agents of the mind, meaning they have you in mind in some sort of way. Okay, very light so far. The energy of Gemini is strong in the opposing other, the significance of the other. Uh, okay. Okay. As far as challenges go, they're trying to essentially come from a place of resourcefulness, trying to develop an esteem or a type of truth. There's a cold precision that holds them back, but also lets them stand in an element of truth and to speak that truth from a place of communication of the highest degree, Aquarius energy here. However, the seventh house is elicited here, the energy of Libra as well, Venus, so that encompasses also Taurus. What you can possess through the other is strong here. An element of gestation as well as growth, an expansion of inner resources of what you can possess, how you can convey in a communicative way these things that you possess in elegance and grace. Okay. But what I see here is an element of withdrawal on your end, combining the two and the three of swords, amounting to the five of swords, more Aquarian energy. Okay, perhaps they're trying to mirror this with you in some sort of way, but it is affected, excuse me, and elicited by your seventh house, Moon in Libra, plus the three of swords. Okay, three of swords is usually about regret or some sort of betrayal, with the upright. This leading to an element of digression, trying to seek the truth, coming up with some form of it, but then it not coming out the way it's supposed to. The mind is a bit scattered in this respect, okay? But it is based around the energy of Libra, as well as Gemini, okay? Strong Libra Gemini complexion when it comes to the mental capacities of this connection, what is being said, what is being, how you can possess these things, excuse me, in terms of being, of what is being said. And there's a possibility of, once again, the Five of Swords emerging, which has to do with the release as well as the transgression, or the transportation or the movement of certain thoughts that have to do with passivity, but also of truth and learning through that passivity. Okay, um, so it's sort of like the Aquarian energy, but not as evolved. There's a need to cut your losses essentially, but it's very strange considering that there still is a great desire for the significant other to at least parlay with you in some respect, especially in terms of making the other significant, making you significant in a way. But what I see here primarily is a lot of Taurus energy on their end, okay, and some sort of promise that they have to certain external communities outside familial responsibilities, also commitments to what they've invested in terms of the past energy. Okay, I think that you have manifested, or at least recalibrated this connection in order to fit your certain needs, which is a very wise thing to do. But also, there's something about you that brings truth through knowledge, and there's a great deal of playfulness and creativity when it comes to the soul essence of this. But perhaps you are investing into the wrong turn back, because the Hierophant is looking away and is committed to especially communities or other things that are deeply rooted in their heritage and what they have gained through investment. Okay, but all complications aside, there still is some form of platform in which to discern the truth. Communication is very important within this situation with the significant other. There also is a need to export or import truth of the highest degree in order to meet each other halfway. But this meeting in the halfway indicates a lot of Moon in Libra energy, or perhaps the dualism of Gemini. Okay, and if this is the case, then there is a possibility of living two truths or two truths conflicting, and therefore there is a riposte or some sort of um, um, equal merits, or perhaps some sort of fair play in terms of how well both of you stand by your communicative aspects or your thoughts. Okay, and these essentially coming into conflict or tension, leading to a type of stalemate or passivity. Okay, that is what I'm seeing. What is coming about, though, is a clear and definite choice that has to do with the movement of thought that comes from the pupil, from the student into the accelerated master of a certain degree. And this has to do with finding the right platform, making the right choice. Perhaps you are riddled with choices, and perhaps you have your own commitments to remind you of certain things. This seems like an extraneous, externalized sort of thing, an other that is significant but not so significant to actually make a grounded choice. There is a lot of mind going on here, And because of such, there needs to be an element of tempering, of really finding in the middle path some way, shape, or form to find a new paradigm, a new way of seeing things. Okay, um, yeah, but I think you have to be careful because there's an inbuilt sort of prowess here, a lot of strength, a lot of dignity, and a lot of spirituality around that surrounds this person's energy on the mind as well as in the spirit. And they seem dedicated or devoted to certain things that are based on certain harsh realities. At the same time, there is a possibility to see through and make a form of communication that could amount to ease in some sort of way if the inner self taps into the higher mind and those things become sort of harmonious in a way. There's a possibility for the Four of Swords to come out of it instead of just standing at the precipice of two different choices. There is a possibility of a great number, at least two different choices that would be leading to an element of truth or communication in truth that would also amount to a type of rest. Remember that your thoughts dictate what becomes reality, so these have to be tempered before they are released in a verbalized way in order to mentally sort of align certain aspects that you want to program into your realities, okay? And it works both ways. But because of such, there is an inlaid sadness about the coldness and the precision and the deep spiritual affiliation that they have that is difficult to resolve in a certain way. Um, as far as advice goes, excuse me, there's something about the numbness of experience here that needs to be resolved, and it needs to be understood. So perhaps one or the other party should get into that. There is a need to protect oneself as well from any sort of encumbrances. Remember that anything extraneous can be the path of greed, but also that these things are also leading to the dissolution of certain barriers that are tied to the limitations of Saturn and breaking through those through Uranus in the right time. Okay, so wait for the shift. That is my advice. Kind of strange reading, but yeah, I wonder if that if you guys found resonance with that. Please take care, my dear, and I'll see you around. Bye bye.